Alright, so let's look at some dimensional analysis practice. Okay, let's look at how many milliliters are in 3.05 quarts. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is write down our given and wanted. The given is 3.05 quarts and the wanted is milliliters. So go ahead and pause the voice lecture and see if you can figure out the conversion factors to get us from quart to milliliter. Okay, so these are the conversion factors I came up with. 1 milliliter is 1 times 10 to the minus 3 liter, using the technique that I went over in how to get from a prefix unit to the base unit. We translate the 1, we translate the base unit, and then we translate this prefix m as a power of 10, 10 to the minus 3. Now, if you did 1,000 milliliters equals 1 liter, that will work also. Then we need to get from quart to our metric, and 1 liter is 1.057 quart. And so then we'll do our check to see that we have 2 of each unit, and we have quart and quart, we have liter, and we have milliliter and milliliter. So now that we have 2 of each units, we can go ahead and get started on our railroad math. Okay, so we always start off with our given value in this first block, and then we look at our unit, and that is the unit that we need to cancel out. So then we go up in our conversion factors, and here's the conversion factor that has quart in it. So this part of the conversion factor is going to go on the bottom, and this part is going to go on the top. So 1.057 quarts is equal to 1 liter. And so quart divided by quart is 1, and that cancels out. Now, liter is not the unit that I want, so I need a liter down here so I can get it canceled out. And here's my conversion factor with liter. I've already used this conversion factor, so this is the one that I use. My liter goes on the bottom, and the other half of the conversion factor goes on top. And then I see liters on the top, liters on the bottom. Liter divided by liter cancels out. So then, after I've made sure that all of my units cancel out, what I'm going to do is my math. 3.05 times 1 divided by 1.057 times 1 divided by 1 times 10 to the minus 3. And then my calculator gives me 2,885.525071 milliliters. Now clearly this is too many sig figs. Okay, we'll look back at our original value. There are 3 sig figs. Here's my last allowable digit. I look to the right, that's 5, so 2890. Now this only has 3 sig figs, but we have a 0 at the end of a whole number, and so that's ambiguous. So we want to make sure that we're as clear as possible. And I actually do have milliliters. It's below there, below the screen. So this expressed in correct sig figs without any ambiguity is 2.89 times 10 to the 3 milliliters. And that makes sense. 3 quarts should have a lot of milliliters in it, so our answer makes sense. Now I just wanted to point out that I got that conversion factor from the textbook, from liter to quarts, and anytime you have a metric to English conversion, you've got to look at these tables here to get the correct value, unless of course it's something you already know. Let's look at this example, how many miles in 15.0 centimeters. Okay, so our given is 15.0 centimeters, and our wanted is miles. So we are going between metric and English, so we're going to need to look at our table here to get some values to help us out. Here we have 1 kilometer is 0.6214 mile. That will get us from metric to English. And I have a metric unit, but it's not the metric unit that I want. I want centimeters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write my conversion factor between my prefixed unit and my base unit. And kilo, if we look back on our table, means 10 to the third. So 1 kilometer is 1 times 10 to the third meter. And then I have centimeter here. I've got to get to centimeter. So I look at my table, and centa means 10 to the minus 2. So anytime we need to get from one prefixed unit to another prefixed unit, we always have to go through the base unit. Sometimes people are able just to move decimal points, but in my 20 years of teaching, there have been less than 3 people who've been able to do it completely successfully. So I really recommend writing out all your conversion factors. Okay, now if you did different conversion factors, that is okay, as long as when you check and see that you have 2 of each conversion factors, you're going to get the right answer. Different conversion factors may give you a slightly different answer, but what I care about is that you can show me how to do the process correctly. So let's do our unit check. I have centimeter and centimeter. I have kilometer and kilometer. I have mile and mile. And I have meter and meter. So I have 2 of each. I'm ready to do my math. My given goes in my first block. I have centimeters here, so I need centimeters down here to cancel out. The other half of that conversion factor is 1 times 10 to the minus 2. So centimeters cancel out, and now I have meters. I've used this conversion factor. Now I look at this as the only other conversion factor that has meter in it. So my 1 times 10 to the 3 meter goes on the bottom, and then the other half of the conversion factor goes on top. My meters cancel out. Meter divided by meter is 1, and I have kilometer up here, which is not the unit that I want, so I need to cancel that out. And I've used this conversion factor. Now this conversion factor is what's left. 1 kilometer goes on the bottom, and 0.6214 miles goes on top. Now I have used all of my conversion factors, and all of my units have canceled out except for the one that I want. So now I have to do the math. 15 times 1 times 10 to the minus 2 divided by 1 times 1 divided by 1 times 10 to the 3 times 0.6214 divided by 1. So my calculator tells me, oh, it didn't come up right. 9.36 times 10 to the minus 5th miles. And in this case, the answer that the calculator gave me actually has the correct number of sig figs, so I don't have to do any further math. And this makes sense because 15 centimeters is a small amount, it's less than a foot, and so it's going to be a very, very small amount of miles.